What's up, everybody? Welcome to Beyond the Shade with Sage Sage. And today I want to be talking about, content creation and behind what goes on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they see the whole Kai Cenat, PewDiePie, like all those creators and how they're making millions. And it's like, oh, I could do that. Maybe, I could do that, and then TikTok comes along and you hear people getting thousands of dollars from it, and honestly, it's not like that for the average person. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. I kind of want to go into why it's not like that and why it's kind of difficult to not only build up the views and the following and etc., but more also about like the consistency from it. So, first things first. You see the videos online. You see, like, for example, gaming, reactions, podcasts, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, hey, I could do it too, And you start to do it, maybe a couple months drop by and everything, and then next thing you know, you're not getting the views that you thought you would, or you're not getting the viewership, you're not getting the interactions, you're not getting all that, and you're thinking, why is it so hard? Why is it so hard? So I'm gonna break down why it's hard, right? So first things first, when you're streaming or content creation, things like that, you want to make sure you have at least five to ten loyal people, right? These are people who will tune in and share your stuff, right? They don't even have to be content creators themselves. They're just tuning in and sharing your stuff, because a big part of what makes these other people build their, foundations is the fact that they have consistent people who are willing to share their stuff. And of course, because of how the internet works, the more interaction you have with a content, the more the internet wants to push it out. So when you have 5 to 10 people consistently liking and pushing out a product that you have or content that you have, you'll start to notice your numbers flourishing, right? Now, loyalty is the big part, because let's be real, as adults especially, we we look at the simplest things as inconvenient, right? Liking a video, even though it takes 2 seconds, inconvenient. You're just like, I'll just watch it. No need to like it. Another part is the share button. What's making you not share it? Inconvenient. It takes, you're not thinking about that. So next thing you know, even though people like, the loyal people that you think are watching it and stuff like that, they're not interacting with it. So because they're not interacting, because the algorithms, any website you go to, because the algorithms are seeing that person see it but not interact with it, it's not going to then push your content out. So this is why you oftentimes see a lot of people stay stagnant in where they are, right? Like it's the fact that you just need consistency, not only with you, right? Because you have to put out the content for people to like. You have to put something for people to like. But it's also due to what do you have as support? You know what I'm saying? Because end of the day, the algorithm is very, very manipulative, right? If I'll give you an example. You're watching this video right now, right? If you don't like or share, this is why you see YouTube people be like and share this video. The reason why they have to say that is because if YouTube only sees that you're watching it for a little bit and you're not trying to like or share, then it's like, nobody's trying to see this. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens to your content. So what you oftentimes see to kind of help bring up your numbers is you oftentimes have to make content with existing content, right? This is where you see things like reactions and things like that. And I'll be honest with you, right? Reactions are great for numbers, right? Because you're taking popular content and you're an everyday person and you're reacting to it, and that way people can kind of like, match with you, right? Your reactions, it lets people talk about and debate your reaction based off what they're seeing in the content. And it's great. It's great. In my opinion, it's a great beginning phase, because you are now using the algorithm that pushed that initial content to your advantage, right? And then this is when you'll start to see people kind of split because, for example, you will often see those big streamers in the beginning. You often see they start off with reacting, and then next thing you know, they start making their own stuff. Why? Because they already have the numbers now where their channels are being pushed. You know what I'm saying? They now have loyal and consistent viewers who are going to tune in regardless of what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us don't have that. So it all depends on what you decide to do. If you do not have the loyal people that are liking, sharing, commenting everything on your content, you then have to end up going on the internet to see if you can. And that oftentimes ends up with interacting with other content creators. And I'll be real, you can't go after the big ones because the big ones have multiple people asking them for favors and things like that. So you have to find other like-minded and smaller content creators with yourself. A lot of us don't do that as well. So you oftentimes see that one person with one viewer and everything, and it's not because their content is bad. It's because they're just not getting pushed. You know? And it's not a fault of their own. It's just like that's how the algorithms work. Is that if people are tuning in and not interacting, sorry. You know? And with that being said, you know, it comes down to, like I said, the consistency of it. You know, sometimes people even have to like really watch your stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to put this in Chico, but they don't have to really watch your stuff. If they play it and at the end of the clip or whatever, they share and like it, you're now getting pushed. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen with my own content, right? I put a clip on TikTok, right? It was about Attack on Titan, right? And I just reacted. I just said some bullshit, right? But the people who I knew watched Attack on Titan, they started sharing and liking it. Next thing I know, I'm getting like 100,000 viewers. And I'm like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's because of the fact that that was something, you know, that they pushed, right? If my initial people didn't do that, right, it doesn't change the content. It just changed who would be able to see it. And that's the sad truth when it comes to content creation is if you do not have the consistency nor the loyalty to it, you're gonna find it a hard time to climb, right? Same thing happens with like bots, right? Like a lot of times, a lot of people get a lot of bots. You're thinking you're getting, you know, multiple people viewing your stuff, and then your website does a bot sweep, right? Like things that like, you know, they were made in a day multiple times, and their interaction with other videos are like, share this if you want to, you know what I'm saying? They do a bot sweep, and a lot of people's follower counts go from, let's say, 300 to like 120 because it was bots that were following them in order to in order to comment the little links and stuff. So be wary of that. Bots are real. They're really real. They're pre-programmed to like give you, you know, not really views, but like give you follows, and then next thing you know, it'll say like, oh, this person's been following for 2 weeks, and then next thing you know, it's a bot. You know, so be wary of that. Also, I would say this is like I always say like the universe kind of gives you what you put out there. So if you see people out there who, you know, they're trying to build their channel and things like that, like and share their stuff. Even if you don't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's like something where it's like you're not fully in there, like you're not fully committed to it, a like and a share would still help them. And I feel like you'll get that back. Right? Don't do that follow for follow stuff that you be seeing on the internet, bro. Followers have nothing to do with content. Right? It's always Instagram, right? You can have 10,000 followers right now, and if you make a post and only 10 people like it, it's not pushing out to the 10,000 people. It's gonna be like, oh, like they're gonna look at the ratio, like, dang, this person has 10,000 people that follow them, and only 10 people like. That's like less than 1%, whatever. You see what I'm saying? So next thing you know, they're gonna be like, yeah, then we're not gonna push this. So I personally say, like, for those out there, like, hey, take your time, find your niche, right? If you want to be a gamer, do gaming. If you want to do podcasts, do podcasts. If you want to do reactions, do reactions, right? And you can always do all of them, right? Content isn't just about one field, right? But make sure you're specific in it, right? Make sure people know what's coming, right? If you're doing gaming and then suddenly you're doing a podcast without anybody knowing that you was about to do a podcast, then it's like, oh my God, what's this channel really about? But if you keep things organized, you can be able to separate the gaming from the channel and the podcast from the channel and the reaction videos from the channel, right? Next thing's next. I said next thing next. That's crazy. Learn to edit, right? Some videos, you just take simple cuts and make sure there's not really long pauses in your videos and stuff. Do thumbnail edits as well. Take a picture. You say like, oh my God, like oh, right? And then that's a picture right there. And then you just take out that picture, right? And then put it as a thumbnail of like yourself. You know what I'm saying? But definitely do those. It takes like an hour to learn that stuff, honestly. So, definitely go into that. It's a grind, man, and you got all these people talking about, it's a grind, but you could get this and this in like 3 weeks, and no, it's a grind regardless of who you are. Always remember that a lot of these big time streamers, if they didn't have a pre-established famous like, kind of look to them, all of them got famous off of a viral video, right? Not multiple viral videos, just one, right? Kai Cenat, he started off doing YouTube like every day, but the thing that made him go viral was a mouse randomly scurrying across his room that the camera caught. So what happens? Everybody's like, "Oh my God, you saw this mouse? Share, like, and then comment, and it's like, oh my God!" And next thing you know, now people know who he is. And then now when he makes his content, it's like, oh my God, it's the mouse guy. But because he now has that audience of who, like, people trying to, watch him grow now, right? From mouse guy to Kevin Hart being in his videos, it's a journey, right? People love a journey. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you got to put out something and people have to share something that really, like, makes that journey start, And that's really all it is, honestly. Right, don't expect to get paid out too much as well. Most of the payment is through advertisement. For the small streamers, don't bombard your streams with ads though. It makes people tune out. Right, the only time you should do that is again if you have like very very loyal people tuning in. Right, if it's a random stranger that's like, all right, let me watch your content, and then next thing you know, every 2 minutes ad. They're not really gonna stay. It'll show that they popped up, but they're not really gonna stay. Right, but if you have a consistent viewership in regards to the loyal people to your videos, you can do the ads because they know, okay, he's doing the ads because, it's money. You know what I'm saying? And then you could do those like subscription things where it's like you can skip the ads if you subscribe, you know what I'm saying? So it ends up helping out the person that you're trying to support anyway, But yeah, with that being said, guys, love you guys. I just wanted to explain like why, your content may not be going out there. And it happens, and just don't let it discourage you. Start streaming. Even if you have to stream to one viewer every day, do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, do it because eventually, right, you will end up with people who are loyal to your stream, and you will end up with people who will like and share your stuff. So, yeah, that being said, love you guys. I'm out.